The narrative that is the fourth generation of K-pop has flopped. The narrative that is the fourth generation of K-pop will never reach the same level of success that the third generation has reached. The narrative that is till this day, no group from the fourth generation has reached the A level. When talking about the A level, we're talking about for Gen 3, Blackpink, Twice, BTS, Red Velvet, EXO. Now, are those narratives true? Well, being 100% honest with you, I don't really want to say this, but I'm not trying to be hateful or anything. To all the 4th Gen stands watching this, I'm sorry to say, but this is hard. You can't deny the fact that it is indeed cap. I got you there now. Hold on. Like, you really thought I was about to say something else, right? Nah. Listen, first of all, I hate the term flop. It was fun at first, but nowadays, K-pop fans, they just label anything and everything as flops, and they're actually serious with it too. So, if you one of them, get a life. Second of all, I have to ask you, what's your standard of success? Because if your standard of success are Blackpink and BTS, like, I'm not even gonna talk to you. Because if that's your standard of success, at that point, seek professional help. Like, how is it not common sense that they don't have to be as successful as Blackpink and BTS to be successful? Because listen, a lot of groups from the 4th gen, not only the ones from the big three, but also outside the big three, like a lot of them are successful, and that's a fact. But if you're talking about, have they actually reached the A level yet? Again, the A level being Blackpink, Twice, BTS, and all that. Well, no, they have not reached the A level yet. But I wouldn't say none though. Like, none is kind of crazy. Like, for me, I think aespa is probably an exception. They got a perfect all kill. They've won their songs. They've won many impressive awards despite debuting only recently. But other than that, there's really no one. And why is that? Is it because they are untalented? Is it because they are just not that special? Or is it purely just because the 3rd gen groups that are in the A level, they set the standard a little bit too high? Well, this brings me to the next section of this video, where I will try my best to explain why is that the case. Okay, the first reason, and probably the main reason, is COVID-19. To put it simply, because of COVID, there's a pandemic. And because there's a pandemic, everything went online. Online concerts, online fan signs, basically online everything. And online concerts and offline concerts, they'll never be the same. Online fan signs and offline fan signs, they'll never be the same. And on top of that, because of COVID, companies can't really give their groups proper promotions. So basically, the point is, offline is way more effective and impactful in terms of actually upping and expanding the group's popularity. But unfortunately, because of COVID, they have to do everything online. And the final and most obvious impact of COVID-19 is when the idol itself actually is positive of COVID-19. The most recent example of that happening is with JYP's new girl group and Mix. Because some of their members got COVID, their debut showcase got postponed. And then the same goes with Kepler. Their debut got postponed because some of their members got COVID. And this obviously messed up their whole schedule, promotion. It's all messed up, basically. So yeah, I think COVID have a huge impact on why 4th gen groups are not really reaching that A level yet. And if you argue that the 4th gen started before COVID, well, let's see. The 4th gen started roughly around 2018, and COVID started around 2020. So that's only like 2 years of proper and actual promotions. And I just don't think that's enough time. So yeah, that's the first reason. Now on to the second reason. That is their concepts and songs. Okay, for this one, I'll be more focused on girl groups because I'm not really into boy groups like that yet. So yeah. Anyways, when it comes to 4th gen girl groups concepts, the most popular one is definitely, undeniably, unfortunately, girl crush slash darker concepts. And you know, that's not a big problem, but it became a big, huge problem when almost all fourth gen girl groups was doing this girl crush concept to the point it became repetitive, to the point it became boring, to the point it was just so bad because the truth is a lot of them just don't suit the concept. And let's be honest here, a lot of them were just doing it because it was the trend. But to be fair, now in 2022, we are starting to see more girl groups trying different and more unique concepts, whether it is brighter and fresher concepts or I don't know, there's so much concept nowadays I don't even know what they're called, but the point is a lot of girl groups are trying more different concepts now, which is great, and I have to say they are showing signs of improvements in the concept area. But now let's talk about their songs. Okay, my thing with fourth gen groups is that they don't really have a lot of iconic songs or viral songs. Like for example, ITZY. Name one iconic song that went viral from ITZY. I bet you can't because there's not. I'm not saying ITZY songs are bad. I'm just saying that none of them are iconic. None of them really have went viral like that. And the thing is, if you want to reach the A level, you need iconic songs. Like let's take an example here. Not to compare anything, but their bigger sister, Twice. Bro, if you ask me to name one iconic song from Twice in 10 seconds, bro, in 5 seconds I could hit you with 10. You feel what I'm saying? And my point is, they just need more iconic songs. They need more songs with the potential to go viral if they want to reach the A level. Again, I'm not saying 4th gen groups have bad songs. In fact, I know they have good songs that for me should have went viral, but didn't because probably COVID, you know? But despite COVID and all that, the truth is, 4th gen groups, they just don't have that many iconic songs. But if they actually do start to release iconic songs, let me just say this, it's going to be great. So yeah, moving on to the third reason, that is fan wars. If you don't know what a fan war is, basically a fan war is when two fandoms or more, but usually two fandoms from different groups, they get into a fight in social media, obviously. They get into a fight over basically which group or idol is better. And it's very childish, toxic, dumb, and useless. Like, let me put it this way, okay? Imagine a new person trying to get into K-pop, you know what I'm saying? He goes into Twitter to go see what's up with K-pop Twitter. And then as he scrolls through the pages, he sees two fan accounts fighting over dumb and meaningless shit. Being very toxic, being very weird, being very just no fun. Like they're taking things too seriously. And after all that happens, what do you expect this new guy to do? Do you actually expect him to stand your group or your idol and just after you win the fan war? Bro, he's not gonna do that. Like, in fact, he's gonna get weirded out by you. And, you know, he'll do his best to stay away from your fan base and your group because he will think that all the fans of that group are as toxic as you, when I can 100% guarantee you that is not the case, because these weird toxic fans, they are the minority, but at the same time, they are also the loudest. And unfortunately, nowadays the fan wars are getting worse. It's getting more toxic. And if you are still wondering, yes, it is a factor to why 4th gen groups are not really reaching that level of success yet. Because think of it this way. Imagine how many new K-pop fans that experience the same things. They go to social media and then they see fan wars, and the cycle is just going to continue and continue and continue. And if you are still wondering, that cycle ends up with these new fans getting weirded out. So yeah, it may not be a big factor, but you can't deny the fact that it is a factor to why 4th gen groups are not really reaching that level of success yet. So yeah, moving on to the fourth reason, that is the competition is getting kind of crazy. What I mean by that is the 4th generation of K-pop is hella competitive. It is not dominated by the big three. Obviously, they are still dominant, but not that dominant no more. Because nowadays, we see a lot of groups outside the big three, like actually competing against groups from the big three. And because the level of competition is getting higher and higher and higher, it also became even harder for them to actually win music shows, to chart, to get perfect all kills, to win their songs, to break records. You get the point. And the thing is, in order to get to the A level, you need to win their songs. You need perfect all kills. You need to break records. You need to chart a lot. You need to win a lot of music shows. But as I said, nowadays the competition is getting crazy. So it is really hard to achieve all those things. That's why I think the competition getting kind of crazy is one of the reasons to why 4th gen groups haven't really reached the A level yet. And then moving on to the final reason, that is they are talentless plus the standard is just too high. Listen. Okay, so did you really think I was gonna say they're talentless? Crazy.
It was funny, right? It was funny. Fuck out of here, man. Stop it.
Nah, they're not talentless. Most of them are talented. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? I don't know. I mean, yeah, most of them are talented. So I don't think that's the problem. But then if you ask me, did the A-level 3rd gen groups, did they set the standard a bit too high for the 4th generation to reach? I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question. So yeah, I'll leave it to you guys watching this. Comment down below if you think the A-level 3rd gen groups, again, if you forget who the A-level 3rd gen groups are, basically Blackpink, Twice, Red Velvet, BTS, EXO. Comment down below if you think they set the standard a little bit too high for the 4th gen to reach. But anyways, those are the reasons to why I think 4th gen groups are not reaching the A level yet. And I'm pretty sure there's more reasons. So if you want to add more reasons, feel free to comment down below. But now, let's get into the juicy, spicy part of the video. I'm pretty sure all of you watching this want to know the answer to this question. That is, which generation is better? The 3rd gen or the 4th gen? Okay, so before we get into it, for this one, I'm not only going to talk about the top groups from each generation and then compare them. No. Instead, I'm going to talk about the overall quality of each generation. So, okay, when talking about which one is better, we got to talk about achievements. And on paper, Gen 3 have achieved more than Gen 4. Gen 3 have more important and remarkable achievements, and that's a fact. If you see the top 3 group that won the most music shows, till this day, it is still BTS, Twice, and EXO, all from the 3rd generation. Groups with the most perfect all kills. It is actually Big Bang from the 2nd gen with 5 perfect all kills, but other than that, 2nd place belongs to Twice and BTS with 4 perfect all kills, and 3rd place belongs to Blackpink with 3 perfect all kills. Again, all of them from the 3rd gen. The top 3 groups with the most daesang, BTS, EXO, and Twice. Again, all from the 3rd gen. So, in terms of achievements, the 3rd gen is kinda clear. But my problem with the 3rd generation is the big 3 plus BTS dominated. They dominated Gen 3. But with Gen 4, we don't see that no more. The big 3 are not that dominant anymore. And that's true because nowadays we see groups like Stacy, IVE, Kepler, G-Idol, Promise, Weekly, HYB, New Girl Group coming up, ATEEZ, TXT, and Hypen. These groups, they're all from outside the big 3, and all of them are pretty popular. And some of them are competing against groups from the big 3. So yeah, as I said earlier, the competition is kind of crazy in Gen 4. So in terms of actually there being a competition outside the big 3, Gen 4 is more competitive than Gen 3. So back to the main question. Which generation is better? Gen 3 or Gen 4? I'm sorry, but I can't really say nothing. I can't really say nothing because, with Gen 3, like you got these legendary groups with legendary achievements. But then with Gen 4 is more well-rounded. Yes, they may not have legendary achievements yet, but there's more group out there. There's life outside the big 3. So if you ask me which one is better, I don't know. But if you ask me which one I prefer, I can't say that because I don't want to get hate. You feel what I'm saying? Like that.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble.
But on a serious note, though, like seriously, like the conclusion I get from this is that both Gen 3 and Gen 4, both of them are successful in their own way. If you say Gen 4 will never be If you say Gen 4 will never be as successful as Gen 3, on paper you may be right, but do they have to though? I don't think so. So yeah, that's my perspective on the whole Gen 3 versus Gen 4 thing. The future of the fourth generation. This is interesting because Gen 4, they go what? 2 years left, I think. So, 2 years can be long, can be short. Depends on when will this COVID thing end. Because if it ends like, and when I say end, like end, you know what I'm saying? If it ends this year or maybe early next year, then I think that will be huge for Gen 4 groups because then they can actually do proper promotions. And if that's the case, I think there will be a period where a lot of these Gen 4 groups will pop off. A lot of them will go crazy. A lot of them might reach the A level. But I do want to say that even if in the next 2 years they end up actually not reaching the A level, they ended up not popping off like that, I don't think it really matters because most of these 4th gen groups will still be active when Gen 4 ends. So there's still a lot of time left. And on top of that, my thing with the 4th generation is like they have built such a great foundation for the next generation in terms of we will see more and more groups outside the big three actually competing. We will see more groups outside the big three breaking through that big three wall. Why? Because in Gen 4, there's so much companies that went from being unknown to actually being pretty well known. So yeah, that's my take on the future of the 4th generation. But really, in my books, they are already successful. Okay, so for the final section of this video, I will list you guys groups from the 4th gen, obviously, that I think have the potential to go to the A level with Blackpink, BTS, and all of them. I'm not saying they will go to the A level. That's up for you guys to decide. I'm just saying that they have the potential. So, okay, this list is not in a particular order, and I will give like one sentence for each group to why I think they have the potential to go to the A level. And I will go from girl group to boy group to girl group to boy group and so on. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's get it. Hey, that's it for the video, man. If you made it this far, might as well drop a like, you know what I'm saying? If you like my vibe, if you like my energy, hit that subscribe button as well. You feel what I'm saying? But other than that, it's been me, Hyeautiful. Take it easy. Bye.